Hello, fellow travelers. Today we're exploring the vital link between Europe and the United States. This transatlantic route is one of the world's busiest, connecting cultures, economies, and millions of stories. After the pandemic, the return of these flights symbolized hope and global recovery. More travelers meant bustling hotels, restaurants, and cities on both sides of the ocean. For airlines like British Airways, Lufthansa, and major U.S. carriers, these routes are essential for business and jobs. When transatlantic flights are full, it signals confidence in the economy and the travel industry's health. But in 2025, something changed. The number of European visitors to the U.S. dropped sharply. This unexpected dip raised alarms across the industry. Was the post-pandemic travel boom over? Were travelers choosing other destinations? These questions echoed from Berlin travel agencies to Orlando hotels. Understanding this decline is key to knowing if the industry is truly recovering. The health of transatlantic travel is more than numbers. It's a pulse check for global tourism. So, what made 2025 such a challenging year for this crucial connection? Let's dive into the reasons behind this sudden shift. The answers reveal much about the world of travel today. Join us as we unravel the story of transatlantic travel's toughest year and discover what it means for the future of global journeys. So, what went wrong in 2025? After a strong recovery, European bookings to the U.S. suddenly dropped. Airlines faced a major headache as their most important routes lost popularity. The political climate in the U.S. played a big role. Many Europeans felt unwelcome due to heated rhetoric and new policies. This Trump effect pushed travelers to choose destinations in Asia or within Europe instead. Practical problems made things worse. A U.S. government shutdown in November caused long airport waits and closed national parks. Domestic air travel chaos, cancellations, and delays further discouraged visitors. News of these disruptions spread quickly, making the U.S. seem less appealing. It wasn't just one issue, but a combination that created a perfect storm. The result, a significant decline in European visitors, felt from Florida's beaches to San Francisco's streets. Businesses across the country struggled with fewer tourists. The big question, how deep was the drop, and when would things turn around? Let's look closer at the hardest-hit months. The answers are revealing. Summer is usually peak season for European tourists in the U.S., but not in 2025. Instead of crowds, hotels and attractions faced empty rooms and quiet streets. Data from the National Travel and Tourism Office showed the sharpest decline from July to September. This third quarter, when families usually travel, became the low point of the year. The drop was widespread, affecting nearly all major European regions. Cities like Orlando and New York felt the absence deeply. Lost income, fewer customers, and economic uncertainty. The reasons? The same political tensions and travel disruptions, but amplified during the crucial summer holiday period. When planning a big family trip, travelers want things to go smoothly. News of hassles or unwelcoming attitudes made many Europeans rethink their plans. For the first time in years, the U.S. no longer seemed like the easy, fun destination it once was. The impact rippled through the entire tourism sector. Businesses that rely on summer visitors faced tough choices. The industry was left asking, could things get any worse? The summer of 2025 became a wake-up call for everyone in travel. Understanding these months is key to fixing the future. Let's see how different countries responded. The story wasn't the same across Europe. While overall travel to the U.S. dropped, some countries pulled back sharply, while others kept coming. France and Germany, usually top sources of U.S. tourists, saw dramatic declines. Their travelers seemed especially sensitive to political tensions and travel hassles. Meanwhile, Spain, Italy, and the United Kingdom bucked the trend. Visitors from these countries actually increased, providing a lifeline to the struggling U.S. tourism industry. This split shows Europe isn't a single market. Each country reacts differently. Airlines and tourism boards need tailored strategies for each market. What works for British travelers might not work for Germans. Cultural ties, language, and media coverage all play a role. For some, family connections or a love of American culture outweighed concerns. For others, the risks and hassles were too much. This divide shaped the entire year for transatlantic travel. Let's take a closer look at the countries that stayed away, and those that kept coming. The details reveal important lessons for the future. Here's what happened on both sides of the divide. Germany and France saw a dramatic fall in visitors to the US, down about 20% in some months. For decades, their tourists were a reliable presence at American landmarks. In 2025, their absence was deeply felt. Political tensions and reports of travel chaos made these travelers rethink their plans. With plenty of attractive destinations closer to home, many simply chose easier, more predictable vacations. Airlines like Lufthansa felt the financial hit from fewer passengers. This sharp retreat showed how quickly even loyal visitors can change course. Meanwhile, the UK, Spain, and Italy kept sending travelers to the US, even increasing their numbers. For Brits, a shared language and family ties made travel feel familiar and necessary. Many trips were about personal connections, not just tourism. Spanish and Italian visitors were drawn by the unique American experience: Hollywood, New York, and national parks. For them, the adventure outweighed any worries. This steady flow was a lifeline for airlines like British Airways and the U.S. tourism industry. Continued demand from these countries helped offset losses elsewhere. Even in a tough year, the dream of visiting America stayed strong for millions. Their resilience gave the industry hope. It proved that the right mix of appeal and connection can overcome even big challenges. The lesson: not all travelers are deterred by headlines. Some are always ready for the next adventure. After a tough summer, things began to improve in late 2025. Travel numbers started to rebound, especially from Germany. This was a welcome surprise after months of decline. The recovery began even as some disruptions continued, showing travelers' resilience. Why the change? Negative news faded, and pent-up demand returned. Airlines and travel companies offered deals, making trips more affordable. The data showed a clear upward trend in the year's final months. This late-year rebound set a more optimistic tone for 2026. The desire to visit the US hadn't disappeared. It was just on pause. The industry finally had a reason to celebrate. The turnaround provided a foundation for a stronger new year. It proved that travel demand can bounce back quickly. The future was starting to look brighter. As 2026 began, signs of recovery grew stronger. Booking data and online searches showed real momentum. Amadeus reported a 15% jump in summer 2026 reservations to North America. Europeans were planning US trips well in advance, showing renewed confidence. The upcoming FIFA World Cup, co-hosted by the US, was a major draw. Fans were booking longer vacations around the event, promising a tourism boom. Google Trends showed rising interest in US flights from all major European countries. All signs pointed to a strong comeback for transatlantic travel. The industry was ready for a new chapter. What does this recovery mean? For airlines, it's a lifeline: fuller planes, higher revenues, and renewed investment. US tourism gets a boost as European visitors spend on hotels, restaurants, and attractions, supporting millions of jobs. For travelers, strong demand could mean higher prices, especially during peak times like the World Cup. Booking early is the best way to secure deals. But more competition and healthier airlines also mean better service and more flight options. The future of transatlantic travel looks bright again. The challenges of 2025 are fading, replaced by excitement for 2026. The bond between Europe and the US remains strong and resilient. The return of European travelers is more than an economic boost. It's a sign of a connected, open world. It's a celebration of our freedom to explore and connect across the Atlantic. The skies are busy once more. The world is open for adventure. Happy travels.